Welcome back to Dinar Community Channel. They told you it was a scam. They laughed while you held on. But the truth was never hidden in darkness, it was right in front of your eyes. For years, the Iraqi dinar held a secret code, quietly embedded in documents, contracts, and bank protocols. And now, that code has been cracked. The world is waking up. The reset has begun. Will you be ready, or left behind? For years, the Iraqi dinar has lingered in the shadows of the global financial system, speculated, studied, and at times even mocked. Some dismissed it as a fool's bet, while others quietly accumulated stacks, driven by whispers of a hidden agenda. But what if the truth wasn't buried under conspiracy theories or locked away in elite boardrooms? What if the key to understanding the Iraqi dinar's transformation had been hidden in plain sight all along? This isn't just another story about a currency. It's about a code, one embedded within global events, government movements, and banking signals. It's the dinar code, and its secrets are finally unraveling. Whether by intention or by divine timing, this code is no longer concealed. The clues have been scattered across years of economic policy, digital financial reform, and Middle Eastern geopolitical shifts. Today, the curtain is lifting. The genesis of the Iraqi dinar's potential transformation didn't begin with traders or YouTube speculators. It began decades ago, the moment Iraq's central bank was forced to devalue the dinar in the aftermath of war and sanctions. Once a powerhouse in the Middle East, Iraq's currency became virtually worthless on the global stage. But even as the numbers plummeted, something curious happened. The infrastructure for a financial rebirth remained intact. The banking codes, digital registry systems, and oil-backed leverage mechanisms weren't destroyed, they were simply dormant. In 2003, amid occupation and political reconstruction, the Central Bank of Iraq (CBI) began issuing new banknotes. These notes included modern security features, microprinting, and unique embedded signatures, a far cry from the hyperinflated notes of the past. But what went unnoticed by most was the consistency in these notes. The structure, the numbering, and the ink patterns suggested long-term preparation. Even as Iraq's economy seemed stagnant, the central bank was quietly building a platform for future integration with international systems. The true code didn't come in the form of encryption or digital locks. It came in the form of layered clues. The IMF agreements, Basel III compliance moves, SWIFT integration signals, and central bank reports, each told a different part of the story. At a glance, they seemed disconnected. But when mapped together chronologically, a picture began to form. Iraq was aligning itself with global monetary reform protocols, inch by inch, year after year. Consider this. Over the last decade, Iraq's financial authorities have consistently mentioned phrases like currency stability, rate adjustment, and market liberalization. To the average reader, these are bureaucratic buzzwords. But to the informed eye, they point to a pattern, a gradual convergence with the valuation models used by leading global economies. Then came the oil contracts, long-term, oil for dollars and oil for infrastructure deals made with China, India, and select European partners. These deals weren't random. They were backed by measurable reserves, international oversight, and, most importantly, valuation clauses. Many of these contracts referenced payment structures that assumed a stronger Iraqi dinar, not the deflated post-war version. Why would multinational companies agree to a 10-year deal priced in a currency deemed worthless? The answer was hidden in plain sight. Revaluation wasn't a question of if, but when. By 2023, the digital currency transformation began accelerating worldwide. Iraq was quietly testing biometric ID-based banking, QR-coded payment apps, and blockchain-based transaction records. While the public narrative focused on anti-corruption efforts, these systems had another purpose: traceability, security, and readiness for currency modernization. The pieces of the puzzle were falling into place. And still, few noticed. In early 2025, a quiet document released from the CBI stirred the waters. Buried in technical language was a statement about adjusting the parity rate to reflect national asset reserves and market dynamics. To most, it was just another monetary note. But to those decoding the dinar's trajectory, it was the first real public signal of what had long been theorized: a massive shift was coming. This hidden dinar code wasn't just about a currency value. It was a blueprint, a digital and paper trail of Iraq's step-by-step re-entry into the international financial system. And for the first time in over 20 years, everything began to align. IMF databases began reflecting real-time adjustments to Iraq's foreign reserve holdings. Bank auditing reports showed increased compliance with international reporting standards. And in U.S. financial circles, whispers emerged of Tier 1 banks, including Wells Fargo and Chase, quietly training select staff on foreign currency redemption protocols. Here's where things got even more interesting. Within high-level banking memos, certain numeric codes began appearing repeatedly in cross-border exchange reports. These codes, while standard on the surface, pointed to future currency value placeholders. They matched formulas typically used to project future revaluation figures. One code, referenced internally as IQD NX4, matched projected parity models of $3.76 to $4.56 per dinar, based on Iraq's estimated oil output and sovereign gold reserves. This wasn't speculation, it was preparation. When combined with a silent rollout of exchange-ready locations across the US, Canada, Europe, and the Gulf states, it became clear, the dinar wasn't being ignored by the system. It was being prepped for entrance. Quietly, strategically, and still, the world slept. This is what made the dinar code so effective. It wasn't hidden in the dark, it was right in front of everyone. But it was camouflaged in reports, policy changes, and obscure banking language. Only those willing to research beyond headlines and connect the dots saw it for what it was, a signal of impending revaluation. As of mid-2025, the picture is now clear. Iraq has reached energy independence. Its oil exports are back to pre-2003 levels, with long-term demand from China and India locking in future revenue. The CBI has fully digitized its internal systems, allowing for near-instant reconciliation with international banks. And the final piece of the code. A new announcement confirming full Article 8 compliance under the IMF's framework, meaning Iraq is now considered a fully convertible currency regime. This status, once achieved, unlocks access to unrestricted currency trading. No more artificial caps, no more program rates. Just the real value of the dinar, based on supply, demand, and national output. The international financial world has taken notice. Bloomberg recently ran a quiet piece highlighting emerging market currency shifts. Though Iraq wasn't named directly, the report referenced a Middle Eastern energy-rich nation positioned for valuation alignment. The dots are connecting, even for mainstream analysts. But let's be honest, by the time CNN runs the story, it'll already be too late. The move will have happened. The rates will have shifted. And those who laughed at the idea of holding dinar will be scrambling to understand how they missed it. That's the final irony of this story. The dinar code didn't require elite access or secret intel. It required awareness, patience, a willingness to see beyond the noise. The code wasn't locked, it was just overlooked. So, where does that leave us? The world is on the edge of the largest monetary shift in modern history. De-dollarization movements are sweeping BRICS nations. Central banks are stockpiling gold. Global conflict zones are triggering a new age of economic alliances. And at the center of it all, quietly rising like a phoenix, is the Iraqi dinar, once scorned, now poised. If you're reading this, you're ahead of 99% of the world. But even now, there's a choice to make. Will you act on this knowledge, or wait for confirmation from a media machine that's always late to the truth? Because the truth is, the confirmation already happened. It didn't come in a televised announcement or viral headline. It came in legal filings, financial system upgrades, and strategic positioning across multiple nations. The global elite saw it coming years ago. That's why major currency desks stopped mocking the dinar and started quietly buying it. You weren't supposed to notice. But you did. And now the code is cracked. The data confirms it. The banks are ready. The infrastructure is in place. Iraq has flipped the switch. And the world is catching up. This was never about a get-rich-quick scheme. It was about timing, observation, and decoding a complex system designed to keep most people asleep. The code was hidden in plain sight. Until now, everything has changed. Like and subscribe for more videos.